Hi everyone and welcome to 790. This is the orientation video, so we're going to do a brief overview of the course itself. So we're starting out with the landing page, and you will find, of course, where the announcements are, they're right here, and the Start Here and Course Materials tab, as well as the assignment links and resources that are available to you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the content. And you will find an overview that has the syllabus for the course here, as well as on all syllabi, how you will be evaluated. So this may be a point of interest for you, and just know that we will be doing a draft and of your chapter number 1, and then your final chapter number 1 in this course, as well as a project overview presentation. So those are the 3 major assignments, but we're going to be working very closely together as you refine your draft and work with your team. And then the final presentation for this course is really solidifying the plan for your project. So you're going to reflect back to your chapter 1, because this is basically the foundation for what you are actually going to do for your project. And your project, the nuts and bolts, will come in 791, where you will devise the next chapter, chapter number 2, and that's sort of the how-to, so to speak, as far as the who, what, when, where, all of those components of the project itself. So right now we're focusing on having that very strong foundation to make sure that you can devise that evidence-based practice. So we're finding the evidence now in this particular course. So with that being said, we're going to dive into the Start Here and Course Materials. And this, again, your syllabus is here, and we have the timeline. So I want you to pay special attention to the timeline, because we need to really follow the timeline to keep you on task with the process of the course, because we're going to be doing quite a bit of draft and review throughout this course. So we need to make sure that we're staying on task so that you will have ample time and your team will have ample time to actually review your information. So anyway, we're going to start out with the first thing, the meeting with myself, and then we'll dive into some of the general information. We need to make sure that your team is solidified for this course. And then we're going to dive into the first draft. Needs to be completed by June the 23rd. You should have a very solid place to start with what you've done in 720. So make sure that all of those suggested improvements were done, and also work on solidifying chapter number 1. So make sure that it is exactly how you want it to go for that first draft. And then from there, I will read the draft, I will provide feedback, and then you'll make those changes and then move on to your second team member. Your second team member will review, they will provide feedback, and then you will make appropriate changes based on that feedback, and then move on to your third team member, and your third team member will do the same. So you have to really be on task, like I said before, to make sure that those who are reviewing your paper will have adequate time to do so. And it does take time to do the review, so please allow ample time for them to complete the process. And just know that the final chapter 1 rubric does have some points associated with making sure that this was an effective process, because we don't want to get to the last minute and not have these factors done, because we really need to have all the team members read through the paper and have the paper solidified before you do your final presentation, because your presentation will be based on the evidence that you found, and we have to have that evidence first before we can even move to the presentation, if that makes sense. If you have any questions about this, please do let me know. And so the final chapter then comes back to me after all the corrections have been made. I will review and grade the paper, and I may have additional suggestions too. Just know this is a living and breathing document, and keep that in mind throughout this process. So if I do make additional suggestions, you'll need to make those corrections or alterations possibly before we move into 791, where you're going to solidify chapter number 2. Then you will do the overview, the presentation to your team members by July the 26th, and I do suggest that we talk ahead of time to make sure that you have the presentation on your calendar, because we need to make sure that all your team is available for that presentation. So keep that in mind. And two, as we're moving forward, if you move through the process faster than this, that is perfectly fine. And in fact, I do encourage it just for unforeseen challenges that sometimes come into play, if one of your team members gets sick or something like that. So just kind of keep that in mind. Just some tips that I've learned from the School of Hard Knocks I'm sharing with you. So just kind of keep that in mind as we move forward. And then the final forms for this particular course need to be completed and uploaded in the course, and make sure you get those signatures before you upload it in the course, and for those documents that need to go in the portfolio, make sure that you have those in your portfolio as well, not just in the course, but the portfolio also. And just a gentle reminder, communication is key. So if you're running into roadblocks or if there's challenges along the way, please do let me know, and we will work through those things. And part of my goal is your success. So we need to have that open communication in order to make sure that I'm facilitating things and helping you how I need to be helping you, so that we can have a successful course. So I'm looking forward to sharing this summer with you, and please do let me know if there's anything that you have questions as far as the timeline, and if there's something that we need to do a little differently. You'll find that I have quite a few materials here for you. The presentation PowerPoint template is here. EC is Pi guidelines. You will be using that to structure your presentation and provide some information, because this is the model that we use to assure that you are meeting the requirements of a DNP project. So EC is Pi is something that you'll become very familiar with if you're not already. And then there's some practicum information, as well as advanced project guidelines. The aggregate outcomes, student learning outcomes that are also on the syllabus are listed here in the gold standard, that I will respond to you in a timely manner, and that I will provide feedback to you within 1 week, as long as there's some variance here, because there are several of you who are going through this course. So just know that sometimes reading the very long papers takes a while, so please be patient with me also. So now we go into the assignment links, and this is where you're going to upload all of your assignments. So just know that all the assignment links are in one place and easy for you to find. So this is where you'll upload your drafts, your final, after you do your presentation, you'll upload it here, as well as your forms and documents. And then under the resources, here's the standard resources that we have for you: the academic resources, the McKendree offices, website, and on and on. The Holman Library is here, as well as you may want to really dive into this one, because this is actually the direct access to the nursing research guide. So you can just click on these links and get to where you need to go. And just know that Paul Worrell is right here in your course, so feel free to email him and ask for assistance. In fact, I strongly encourage you to use his expertise. It will help to save you time and help you in refining your searches. So also I've included the just as a separate thing, the project examples. So this will take you directly to the previous projects, and just know that the structure for the papers have changed over time. We constantly improve what we're doing. So just know that yours isn't going to mimic these identically, but this will give you some general guidelines as far as what to think about when you're doing your project. And they are very, very different, and your project will be different as well. So just know that the projects look different because they are different. And there are certain things that need to be done with certain projects, and some are more focused on developing a product. Some are changes in process. Some may be doing some education and changing our viewpoints on certain things. So just know that there are different intents, and therefore the projects are structured differently. So with that being said, that's a very brief overview of the course itself. As always, if you need anything, you let me know. Keep me posted on how you are doing, and let's have a good summer. Take care now.